Greetings, fellow Demon Slayers. This is Taimanin Mari here today with another Action Taimanin video. So for today, we don't really have too much to talk about, so we'll get the topics out of the way and send you guys on your way. First thing, make sure you have your facilities and your dispatch running. Make sure you use up your AP, and make sure you use up your BP, and do your special stages, because maintenance is tonight. So make sure you get that done close to the time of the server going down so that you're not wasting any sort of timer or resource. Outside of the typical maintenance reminder, do make sure you get your hands on this Shiranui skin if you are interested in it, because it will be leaving tonight at the start of maintenance, and once it's gone, who knows when it will be back. To put this in perspective, the only repeat people here on Global have had is the White Almighty and the Shadow Unchained Sakura skin, and those took, I believe, 6 to 7 months to actually repeat once. So, to put that in perspective, I have no clue when this Shiranui skin will be back, because we still have a whole bunch of other limited supporters before this that people kind of want to repeat outside of Asagi and Sakura. So if you're interested in this skin and can afford to do so, make sure you pick her up now before she's gone. And in doing so, you'll at least get a copy of her ultra rare weapon, which is always nice. Next, we come over to the Gacha Screen, and the same advice for this. If you're interested in trying to get the Shiranui supporter, now is your chance to do so. Even if you didn't give it a discount pull, like try and do that. I just genuinely can't afford to because my gems are spoken for other things, but for those who want the supporter, she's not a bad support. She has a really decent effect, she works fine at S level 1, and of course she just gets better and better with S level 5. So if you're interested, try to pull her now, because if you don't, she will be long gone, and again, who knows when she'll show back up, if at all. Outside of that, Ingrid and Kirara have until next week before their up rates for their weapons leave, so you guys have some time if you want to do this, but I think but at this point in time, most people who were interested in these have already brought them, so we can move on from this. And next we have Hayami. She is here for another 2 weeks, and I don't think anyone really cares about her. She's had an overall, negative response as far as, no one really thinks she's that good. I think she's adorable. I think Valkyria Chronicles is a good game, and I think she should have been in that game because she might have been treated better than AT. But if you're interested in her, you have 2 weeks to grab her. So make sure you do so. And yeah, outside of that, there's not really anything else to talk about. I kind of waited till later to do the video, hoping that we'd get some sort of news. I know that we're on 3-week events, so I wasn't expecting any news as far as the new supporter or any events, obviously. But I was hoping to see maybe that we get the next story chapter, because it has been a little bit since we got chapter 14. So I'll just hope for that for next week, because we do need something to do to kind of fill in this 3-week event time they've been putting us on. We're kind of moving at the same schedule that JP had before the server merge. It used to be 2 weeks for events for Global, so things moved a lot quicker, and we were able to get a little bit more monthly gems because we had 2 events per month instead of now 1 that takes 3 weeks and takes up a majority of a month. So now moving to this 3-week timer, things have definitely slowed down. It's also slowed banners down immensely because our banners stay in line with the event timer. So for example, now that we have a 3-week event, Hayami here is up for 3 weeks. So with all that being said, there just isn't much to talk about. What I do hope they decide to do at some point, because we are on 3-week events, is that they decide to actually trickle in some of the events Global players just never had to help us kind of catch up, because we're just so far behind as far as some certain supporters. Big notorious ones are the melee supporter that gives 30%, and then there's a machine type buffer that gives machine type characters 36% that we never got. On top of the banners that come with them, we're just missing those completely, and Adult Yuki is still a no-show for Global, which just totally sucks. So I do hope they decide to pencil those things in for us players who don't have them and have never had the chance to get them, so we can at least have the proper amount of event supporters on our account, because at this point in time, it's just kind of been full speed ahead. We've had the Sakuya event, which is just a brand new supporter, and now we have Aina, which again is just a brand new supporter, And the stuff that we didn't get that Japan had has just kind of been left in the air. And it's a little bit frustrating, like, if I'm being honest, because, like, I hate being behind just because I'm behind and have had no option to catch up. I would like to have access to those supporters, like, even if I don't use them, at least I have them for, the gems that they do give you. But those supporters are good, and I would find a place to use them because 36% extra damage for a machine character is great for anyone who plays Asuka and anyone who like me who plays Emily. And 30% melee damage on a green supporter is also really good, but who knows when global players will actually get access to that. Another elephant in the room I want to go over really fast before ending the video is this skin voucher. This just showcases exactly, how far behind we are. For example, like, we have just Christmas skins that Global just simply never got, even though we had a Christmas event. They didn't bother to give us the older skins. We also have, like, a bunch of other stuff in here. This one specifically triggers Ark because he wants his skin super bad, but he doesn't want to warrant using his voucher because there's so many things in here Global didn't get that it's just like, damn, I'm going to hold on to this ticket. And that's kind of the situation I'm in. I still have this ticket because there's so many things here I want. Like, I don't even play Renko, but I want this skin for her, and Global never got the chance to get it. The same thing goes for, I believe Shiranui has a skin. Well, I know Sue has this. This skin's amazing, and I want this too. Like, I love her little like ribbon or bow or whatever you want to call it on the back of her kimono. I think is super adorable. And then the other one is the autumn skin for Shiranui. Point being, there's a lot of skins and things that Global just doesn't have and didn't have the option to even get. And this voucher just showcases exactly what we're missing. Another big offender, if we scroll down just a little bit, is this. This is a huge offender because Obero mains didn't even have the chance to get their demon skin when she came out. And now it's just in this ticket. But the issue with this ticket is if you use the ticket for any one of the skins that we missed, then you're pretty much giving up any of the other skins that we missed in the ticket because we have no other options to get them. So I hope they come up with some sort of plan. Like, I hope we're not just kind of left shit on the log in the middle of the woods, just neglected and forgotten, and mushrooms are growing on us. I hope they actually are looking into a way to inject stuff because global players really needed an injection before the merge happened, and we just simply didn't get one. And this has nothing to do with the fact that we just kind of are behind in Arena. I don't really care about Arena, if I'm being honest. It's just a coin generator for me. But I would like to just, have the option to get these things outside of having a one-time ticket that lets me choose one thing out of a hat, and then again I'm back to being neglected again. And I'd love to have the events that we're missing because it just sucks not having all the free-to-play options that are available to, at this point, probably half or maybe more of the player base. I'm not sure how much of the player base the Japanese players take up, but I imagine it's probably more than the global players, and I know for a fact global population has dropped since the merge because a lot of people just kind of feel screwed over by the whole thing. But we'll keep an eye on that subject and look into it. I just wanted to bring up that it is still a problem. Another thing that is still a problem are the glitches in the game. The game seems to have just become progressively more expensive since launch, but there are still a lot of bugs that just seem to be not getting fixed. One major bug is the tower in general has a bunch of them. One bug is this bug where you are playing your character and next thing you know, your character is freezing in place and they're kind of in a state of invulnerability where you can't do skills but the enemies can't hit you and your only option is to reset the map. I know a lot of people when Tower came out were reporting this bug between, I believe it was floors 30 to 35, the airport area. But I actually spoke with a viewer yesterday who is literally... Can we just scroll down? No? Okay. I'll just go through it slowly. But he's literally stuck on floor 1, all the way down here. And he's experiencing this bug on this floor. I don't recall anyone saying they've had it this early, but no matter what character he tries to use here of what he owns, he simply cannot get through it. And it sucks because he's been working to be able to do Tower on his account because he's, I guess, a newer player. And now that he's able to actually handle the enemies, he can't even do floor 1 because the game keeps glitching out. And we shouldn't have issues like that. Another big issue that seems to happen in various places of the tower is falling through the floor. And the falling through the floor glitch has actually been happening in other places outside of towers. I've heard of people having it happen during the Ina fight in the bonus stages. I've even heard of it happening in dailies, and I've seen photos, evidence of that. So these issues need to get fixed, because if the game is getting progressively more expensive, I'd imagine that the game should also be getting some sort of, caretaking and not just being left to be updated and generate money. I hope the devs actually are looking into ways to fix these issues, because all of these falling through the floor issues and freezing in place issues and what have you, glitches like that, started when the tower got added about 2 months ago. It's been like maybe a month and a half, so in the next couple weeks we'll have had tower for 2 months, and these errors have been known about for that entire time frame. So if I wish for anything for today's maintenance, since I know I'm not getting any sort of like injection or any sort of event repeat for what Global's missing, and I know I'm not getting any sort of skins, save for maybe potentially the bathing suit skins, and we know that we're not getting any new story because there wasn't a trailer. I just hope they freaking fix some of these bugs. I'd love to read that in the patch notes, because like it's very frustrating when you're trying to play a game and you can't progress because the game is just not working. That's a terrible experience. Me personally, I didn't experience any bugs in the tower. I have experienced a freezing glitch with Kirara, since that's pretty much the only thing I play now. And I've experienced it in various places. I've had it happen like on dailies once, and I've had it happen on bonus stages with her. Not with Ina yet, but I have had it happen with Sakuya, like multiple times when I was like playtesting Kirara and trying to figure out builds for her in the bonus stage for that event. I was definitely getting like the freezing issue, and it's a weird glitch. Like what happens, at least in my experience, is that you like use a skill and then that skill will become unresponsive, and then next thing you know, everything you can do is unresponsive. Like you can't even basic attack. The only thing you can do is pause and unpause the game, and your character cannot move, and the enemies will keep attacking you, but they can't even hit you. It's almost like your character isn't even in the game space anymore. They're just not there. So yeah, these things need to be fixed, and that's kind of my wish list for this potentially empty update that we're going to be getting. Outside of that, heed all the reminders I gave in the beginning of the video, because if you miss out on Shiranui now, who knows when she'll be back, as I said before, and you don't want to waste any resources. So, with all that being said, I do wish you guys a great rest of your day. I wish you guys good luck in all facets of the game, and if you are experiencing any glitches, be sure to report it to support if you haven't already, because these things do need to be fixed. And examples also help if you're able to take a screenshot or at least record it. And with that, you boys and gals, take care, and I'll catch you tomorrow with another video. Bye-bye.